everyone, and welcome to the Waifu Watch podcast. We're here to make sure you don't waste your Crunchyroll subscription since the problematic gay has invaded two of our hosts.
It's alright. It's okay.
It's infectious.
It is rather infectious.
It's infectious disease.
Ooh, but you know what? Honestly, I don't blame either of you because, after watching ACCA this week and getting to all the stuff that we're going to get into very shortly, ooh, man, I don't blame you in the least. And yeah, I mean, things are kicking into gear, not just for that show, but for a lot of shows.
Yeah, we're closing in on the end for a lot of people.
Akiba Strip had their penultimate episode this week. The
word penultimate always really confused me, honestly. I know what it means, like, before the last one, but it's confusing.
Yeah, still. And also, Fuuka had its penultimate episode this week too, which it made me mad. So we'll get to that.
We're ready. We'll get there.
We will get there. But
in any case, let's get into ACCA because I'm fucking excited about it.
Oh, ACCA's so good.
It's still really, really good. Let's just getting directly into it. Vegas is down to blow shit up, surprising nobody. I just want to point out that I'm really angry that the cigarette is backwards.
I mean, okay.
It's literally just exactly backwards.
Okay, you know what? The paper could be colored tan and the filter could be colored white.
I mean, I know. I assumed that that's what's happening.
Yes.
But it's backwards.
See, no.
That makes me angry. I'm like, of all the ways you could have made your cigarette custom, you just chose to make it stupid.
As somebody who has very foolishly tried to smoke a cigarette backwards before.
Oh, why would you do that?
Mia.
I'm
Half
listening.
a bottle of Knob Creek will do that to you, okay? Dead ass. That's
Don't
what it
smoke
happens.
a cigarette backwards, kids.
Don't
smoke in general is bad for you.
Yeah. Just don't.
It looks really cool, but don't do it.
Don't just say it looks really cool. They're gonna.
I mean, honestly, I'm sorry.
Literally part of the problem.
I've said more problematic stuff than it looks really cool on this podcast.
Highly true. Speaking of problematic things, Lilium is the most problematic homosexual. I adore him. And also I ship it.
Oh my god.
I'm so happy because I ship it and I don't have the most problematic ship taste in this show.
You know what's hilarious?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know what's hilarious? I kind of in the back of my head, I was just thinking, you know what? Wouldn't this be funny if this was all of a sudden an endgame ship that came out of left field? And lo and behold,
I don't think it's endgame because Grosseler needs to get out.
well, I mean, by endgame, I mean it's only going to occur in the endgame. And lo and behold, look at what happened.
Here we go. Yeah, so we kind of got the flashback of how Lilium and Grosseler got to be allies. That sort of started, interestingly, with a sort of moment with Grosseler talking to Mauve, which I don't have a screen cap of, but sort of him being when you became Director General and you looked at the crowd of all of the ACCA employees, what did you think? And I don't think she says what she thought, but Grosseler's particular thoughts on it were these districts are so disparate, they have their own identity, which is fine, but I feel like they need to be further unified. And Lilium was like, hey, let's capitalize on that. It was also kind of revealed that Lilium is not in this coup for completely sympathetic reasons. He and his cohorts are basically planning to take over everything, which is kind of an issue. But we'll deal with that when we get there.
Yeah.
On a completely unrelated note, Rail is my adorable heterosexual baby. He's such an infant. I love him. He's just at this dessert party that Lotta's hosting because they're friends now. And everybody else from the ACCA staff corners him, and they're just yeah, well, if you want to make a better impression, now is the time. And then he sort of acts tsundere about it a little bit, and then they sort of slide up to Lotta and they're like, hey, the uniforms are really cute, right? Especially the cop uniform. And I'm just oh my god.
They're just being friends.
I love how,
friends
really
I love how the coworkers are jumping in because Rail just doesn't know how to talk to girls.
He really doesn't.
He picked up bad stalking habits from Nino, and now he's just an awkward bean at parties.
He's cute. He's so cute. It's actually really cute because they're like, oh yeah, Lana, do you have someone you like? And Lana's like, well, there was somebody that I used to like, but it was more that I used to admire them. And Rael is like, it's probably the blue-haired guy. And like me and Joe, maybe, on the outside of the thing being like, girl, it's no, he's 25 years older than you. No.
I share
He knew you when you were 5.
I share the sentiment. I absolutely 100% share the sentiment. No, that is way too big of an age gap.
Yeah, like absolutely not.
Like, like even
also,
though they're
he's been
both
stalking you since you were fucking born.
Like, even though that's like they're both like fairly in the adult category. Like, even if like that was the case, that's still a
25 is still a lot of years.
That's sugar daddy. Like, those are sugar daddy numbers. Can
I speak?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So I just want to say, I do not ship it, but I do understand it because there are people who, like, when you're growing up, like you're like, wow, I think I like this person, because you're like 5 and you don't understand what actual crushes feel like. And so you get like the feeling of, I admire this person, or this person's kind of cool, with, wow, I really have the hots for this person. Which is probably what she probably mistook it for when she was like 13.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, like, that's basically what she says. She's like, oh yeah, it's more like someone I admired. And she like says that she's over it, which is, like, reasonable.
Good.
And it sort of like goes a little bit further into it on the next slide. Next slide, we have finally seen the royal guard that's kind of been running everything from the shadows, that like actually owns the building and blah, blah, blah. Lana has a phone call with her brother where she's like, be careful out there, because she now knows she's related to royalty and it's sort of dangerous to be that way. But during this scene, she kind of has the flashback. And they like have a conversation later on in the episode, and Jean is like, yeah, Nino's been sort of stalking us our entire lives. And Lana was like, yeah, I kind of got the feeling, because when she was, like 5, she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna marry you when I get older, blah, blah, blah. And Nino's like, no, you're not.
No.
I mean, that's also because A, he gay. B, he's 25 years older than you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. Like, he was just like, no, not happening. Which is, like, good, but that was the thing. She's like, I always got the sense that he was kind of weird because of that. But before that actual conversation happens, John goes out to, I was going to be like, oh yeah, it's Arizona, but they actually all just kind of live in caves. There's no real life equivalent to this.
It's cave people.
They're cave people. This is a district that's actually like very sincerely poor. I really like the aesthetic of the inside of the caves. It almost looks very Ghibli, with everything being sort of densely packed, and most of the buildings are circular, and it's very cute. They do the like poverty equals automatic happiness thing, which like is not, it's just kind of a tired trope. I'm just like, maybe not.
Yeah, but I mean, if you are living in Mystical Cave Town, then yeah, if you don't
this Mystical Cave Town's real fucking cute, so
yeah, like,
it's one of those things where I'm like, it's just a tired trope, like, it's been done.
Yeah.
The 2 people that like show Jean around are really cute. There's this like, the short brown haired woman, and she is just like really worried about offending Jean all the time, blah, 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 because she's like, oh yeah, you're like related to royalty and stuff like that. Like, I feel like I need to impress you. And Jean is just like, please, for the love of God, just treat me like a normal dude. Like, I'm so tired. And they like hang out in a dust storm and like, project out. It's revealed actually that this district has a very intimate relationship with TV, which I thought was kind of interesting, because it's like some of the only entertainment that's available, because nobody ever really comes here, Yeah. And so they like go way out of their way to avoid interfering with that. And I always thought that was kind of nice. The district chief does this sort of cute thing where he like asks to borrow a cigarette from Jean and then gives it back to him. Because he's like, we don't have access to tobacco to buy our own cigarettes.
We're in the middle
they're like
of the
so
desert.
Heavily taxed and stuff like that. Jean just looks so tired. I feel bad for him. Let's let him rest.
He has been going around this entire damn country. Just like, originally he was just doing his job, and then all of a sudden, just 2 wrong turns later, he's fallen ass backwards into this gigantic political situation that he's just the center of. Like against his own will, and he's just like, I feel so bad. I just want to go home to my apartment.
He just wants to take a nap,
smoke a pack, and then just go to sleep for like a good 2 days straight.
Like, that's the thing. It's just one of those things where it's like he's very reluctant about being the center of this coup. It's kind of, he's like plotting at this point. I don't really know like what he's plotting, but his attitude has sort of changed somewhat. He's a lot more somber than he used to be, like, in general, and I think he's kind of up to something.
Yeah.
Back at home base, Mauve had this conversation with Graciela where Graciela was like, hey, like, has Jean reported to you? And she's like, no, but I don't really see why he wouldn't. I don't think he dislikes me, but he might be sincerely busy. And Graciela's like, okay, cool. Well, like, keep me updated. If he doesn't report to you before he leaves for the next district, then we might be up to some shit. Given Mauve's increasingly worried face here, he does not report to her before he leaves for the next district, which is kind of what makes me think that he's plotting now. He's like kind of up on the game.
Yep, and like this entire
the game is afoot.
This entire scene was stressful for seemingly no reason. But it was kind of stressful for me for twofold. One, it's now starting to get into the picture that Jean just might be planning something that could or could not be going against what ACCA is planning. Two, do you know how hard it is to keep composure when the two hottest characters in the anime are in this, like, the same vicinity of each other? Like,
I mean, they weren't really in the, like, vicinity of each other, but, they were doing things at about the same time. Lilium is kind of meeting with the rest of the top 5, and they're like, hey, maybe we could use the 100-year celebration to our advantage somehow. And I'm just like, oh, okay, you're going to take over the country at a party. It's also revealed the king had, like, some serious medical issue and has not recovered, so
he's probably
shit
gonna die.
Might be getting real.
He's dead next episode.
Oh, I'm gonna be so sad.
I'm just gonna say this. It was poison.
Ooh, maybe it was. Especially that kind of makes sense due to the fact that on this next slide here, Mamoru Miyato is not looking so good. He's not smug right now. That is possibly the face of a man that poisoned his own father and is, like, praying for forgiveness.
Grandfather, right?
Nah, I'm pretty sure it's
no. No, grandfather.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Given that the grandfather is sick, sort of things are moving. Wheels are turning. The aunt that Mamoru Miyato sort of keyed into the presence of Jean and Lada is like, all right, well, we gotta murder them because if he dies, like, they are in line for the throne ahead of whatever other child she was kind of looking at a while ago.
And, like, it's very close to being like, you know what, I'm just ready to fucking Game of Thrones this shit, so that way, like, I can get what I want. I don't care, like, if I leave a gigantic trail of blood behind me, like, whatever, man.
What are they gonna do, arrest me?
They just might.
Yeah. Mamoru Miyato's looking very somber and praying, and I don't know what he did. Honestly, now that Mia's brought up him poisoning his grandfather, this is very possible, but at the same time, he doesn't really have any motive to, I guess, because he's next in line for the throne anyway, but it might be in his best interest to get there soon, and, in that case, that would explain why he does.
I mean, it also could be the fact that, his grandpa eats sweets, like, every day of his life. It probably has a blood sugar of, like,
this is also totally possible. One of the things I thought was kind of interesting about this sequence is we are cutting between the three of them, and both of the members of the royal family are obviously very deeply in shadow, and they also show Jean, despite the fact that, like, he's in basically Dubai, also, like, very shadowed. And so I thought that was kind of cool to sort of, like, parallel between all three of them, that they're all sort of in the same situation.
They're all in the shape. They're all being kind of shadowy.
Yeah, basically. Also, now Jean is touring Lilium's district, and I'm afraid.
I am very afraid.
I'm so concerned.
Oh man, honestly, it's gotten to the point where I honestly do not know what's gonna fucking happen with these next.
I know. I'm just like, don't do anything mean to him. He's an infant.
Oh man, it's so nerve wracking. I hate it. I hate it, but I loved it at the same time. Like, it's so good to see that, like, even at, like, 2 episodes before the end, it's still just so good.
Yeah, ACCA has not dropped pace once. It's amazing.
No, it's been pretty incredible. It has not had a single off week.
Yeah.
They've been ready to go. So yeah, ACCA, it's still really good. It's still really tense. I'm excited. I really, really, really want to see how this story or this season or this everything ends. I'm ready.
Do you guys want to take bets on likes of getting picked up for licensing?
No. No.
I mean, I don't even need it to be. They've already done a good job.
Yeah, and for that, like, let's move on before we talk about any more licensing, because to Akiba Strip, we have the penultimate episode this week. So it's episode 11. Episode 12 is going to be next week, and these last 2 episodes are going to be dealing with one final bad guy to deal with.
Boss fight, basically.
Yeah. So what's the setup? Well, they're
still doing the idol thing?
Yeah, no, apparently the idol thing was not a one-off. They're like actually just an idol unit now.
See, here's the thing. They've been an idol unit, but they've just been an idol unit in the background of things. They just haven't been
they've been an idol unit off screen because it didn't matter. It matters again this episode.
Yeah, because there's a giant Akiba Fest going on. It's basically like Woodstock for weebs, which oh god, now that I said that out loud, that would be horrible. That would just be moving on.
Gross.
Moving on. Anyway, so and the interesting thing is that this Akiba Fest is sanctioned by the government because it's a cultural program and that'll be good for people, and yeah, it's a feel good thing and it'll get us more votes and yada yada whatever. Little do you know, there's some scheming afoot. This giant red face is a clone of Mayonaka.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be like her sister or something like that, because she's pictured to be, she's a slightly taller and
I think also
looks the same, and that's basically code for anime siblings.
Yeah, basically. Or it could be just a straight up clone. Nobody knows. So what does clone Mayonaka do? Well, she goes around and basically starts a bunch of shit outside of a bunch of stores in Akiba and blames it on electric mayonnaise, basically. And that
blames it on the squad.
Yeah, so basically the vigilantes go back. It's like, guys, what the fuck? You guys are all arrested. Come with me.
I'm so amused that they have an entire fucking courtroom.
Yeah, they have an entire courtroom and they put him through a trial and everything. It's like, no, we got video evidence. All these business cards saying that you guys did it. We're at the scene.
All these receipts.
I got all these
leaving business cards at the scene. Totally not suspicious.
All these receipts, though. I got receipts for days, and then naturally, Tomotsu and the rest are just like, do you remember who you're talking to? We're literally the protagonists. We're literally part of the reason that this city is still standing. So
we are literally the reason you people function. And they're like, shit. Well, you have to prove it somehow.
Well, they do prove it. They basically set up a trap, and they're the imposters that they were looking for. As you can see, clone Mayonaka is there and looks normal, and then how could they mistake?
I mean, that's the joke, but
at the same time, those are gigantic people. I mean, I just thought this was one of the funniest things about this episode, just because
it's a good gag.
They thick.
Oh no, I think my favorite gag was the next one actually after this. But anyway, they have a brief fight sequence.
Yeah.
The two imposters get their clothes ripped off, and it turns out that they're actually reasonably similar looking to Wa and Tomotsu once they're, not giant and infected by monsters.
They're not giant and thick. So afterwards, the professor's just like, I got that all on my high definition night vision camera. So basically got
anyway, we Gucci.
Yeah, we Gucci, and they apologize almost immediately. And
which
then
is nice.
The Akiba Fest is scheduled to go on as planned, but then right before the show starts, government lady steps in with clear horns in her hair. It's just like, no.
Okay,
you know what?
I thought that this was fucking hysterical. Actually, this was probably my favorite joke of the whole show, where she like goes in and she's just like, and all of these people are awful, and like otaku culture is simply just a, you know, elaborate framing device for degrading pornography. And I'm just like, shit, man, you're not wrong. I'm like, she's got me.
It's literally just like government coming in. They don't just shut down Akiba Fest either. They just like ban the entire city. Just outright.
Fucking banning anime. Anime is now illegal.
I'm just like, what?
I can't believe they fucking did it.
I can't
believe they finally stopped anime.
So
I really liked this part. I just wanted to point that out, that like this part was fucking hilarious, just for like how similar it is to the actual cultural relationship of Japan to like the hardcore otaku thing.
Yeah.
I just thought that was quite good.
I mean, it's a nice little jab at it.
Yeah.
And then now here's where shit really gets real. So, fake Mayonaka basically lived and acts like she's the real Mayo that's in trouble. Tomotsu goes to help her, but it was a trap. Basically, she just like drains Tomotsu of his power, and he falls in the river and assumedly fucking drowns.
So here's the deal. Remember like back in the fucking beginning of the season where they're like, oh yeah, by the way, if you stop being like, you know, a bug monster, you're going to fucking die.
He might be dead.
I can't believe Tomotsu's fucking dead. Like, presumably they're gonna fix it somehow, because
there's gonna be some sort of ass pull. Like, let's be real here.
Yeah, like there has to be. But he's just fucking dead.
They just killed him. Stone cold.
He's just literally deceased. Admittedly, I really liked this second kiss scene like way more than I should have, with like her just sort of jumping up like a fucking face hugger. I was like, that was actually quite good. I thought that was cool.
Oh man, yeah, and yeah, that like now that they've added the whole twin element into it, I could definitely see a cool final fight coming from this. So yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Tomotsu's fucking dead now. Like, and it's the bottom of a river. Happening. Like, hopefully they recover his body for the inevitable ass pull, otherwise he's going to fucking drown.
He's gonna drown! Drown!
I was gonna say, I hope the final battle is kill her, she's the clone. And it's like, the real Mayonaka would never give him a chance to die.
Oh my god.
I mean, not exactly that, but...
If they pull that soap opera twin bullshit, I mean, you know what? I wouldn't pass the show to do it. Like this has been...
They already introduced a twin.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this is one of the only shows that have been the most straightforward this entire season.
Yeah, I mean, it's Akiba Strip is still what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And...
like, right advertised on the tin, and it's probably going to be like that right to the end, and you know, I'm fine with that. Like,
it's reasonable.
I'm looking for, and also, I noticed that, like, they actually has not dipped in art quality too much, so I'm assuming that
it's, you know, it didn't start in an amazing spot, but it has, in fact, stayed about the same.
I'm pretty sure they have, like, some money bomb, like, saved up, so that way they could just drop it on the end fight, and
hopefully.
If they do that, I'll be happy with it, yeah.
Also, the opening got no Sumat.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I don't play circle clicks, but yeah.
I do. I play too much circle click.
Yeah, you should get that looked at.
Too much.
So...
Oh, man, I just realized I never got a rhythm game episode. Shit. Oh, well.
It's alright. I mean, next time. Alright, now, on to ClassicaLoid. This week, it looked like not a whole lot happened from...
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Here's the thing. Like, it's kind of like what we addressed a little bit with Nanbaka earlier this season. It's fun when it's doing, like, joke stuff, and then when it's doing plot stuff, it's less fun. This time around, they did a lot of plot stuff. It still managed to be really funny, but it's one of those things where I think this is also something we covered with Nanbaka. It's just less funny if I just repeat all the jokes to you, because I'm assuming you might have watched it.
Yeah. Well, then also, like, really, in comedies like this, I think we've definitely learned from Nanbaka, when you involve plot stuff like this, it's a little bit counterintuitive. Just the slightest.
It managed to keep it pretty light, actually, because unlike Nanbaka, when presented with this problem that happened, all of the composers immediately went like, that's not our fucking problem, and just laid back down and didn't give a shit. but then other things happened around them, and they were forced to address the problem.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what happened here is that, 8 sounds amplification device, they went full Eva here, and they were like, yes, this grand machine that will do this thing. And Bach's whole thing is that he wants to make a world where music exists not as a tool or as a means to an end, but purely as its own end. And to do that, he has to get all of the composers together and like have them use their music at the same time in this machine.
So that's literally just Lilith in Evangelion.
Yes.
I can't tell
but
if that's just inherently funny or if that's low-key really smart. I'm conflicted.
But the really funny thing that happened, honestly, is that they try to capture them and fail hilariously, and then Mitsuru is like, I knew this was gonna fucking happen, so I made robot copies that can all use music successfully. And then Bach's like, Nani the fuck?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fucking impressive. I'm impressed.
Yeah, no, it's really impressive, honestly, because they can use this weird magic music stuff just from her analyzing them and like collecting data on them, which is, like I said, really fucking impressive. Yeah, basically that's pretty much all that happens in this episode, is that they get them all together in this big giant machine and they play the music. And at first, all of the sound from the world disappears, which I think was supposed to be like a cute little thing saying like all sound is sort of like music, because, here I included some of the best jokes actually, where they were saying, you've never caught a fish before? He's like, I think I was going to today. I almost caught a tuna that must have been 10 meters long.
It was this big.
And I laughed out loud at that, genuinely. I was like, ha, good joke. Good joke. But yeah, sound vanished, and then all of a sudden the sound came back, and then everyone started turning into Bach, like in the end of, but it was really similar to the end of the first SpongeBob movie, which, first of all, is very disheartening that I have to mention that it was the first SpongeBob movie, because there's more than one. I know. But what happened is that originally it was just going to do this music thing, but then Mitsuru basically hacked it and was like, okay, so I had this idea, and since I decided all of the other musicians besides you are fucking garbage, and I want everyone to like Bach. And so she just kind of low-key got him chained to the giant neck thing, and is using his music to turn everyone into versions of him. And so now everyone's wearing Bach wigs, and they're kind of like zombied. Including the babe.
I like the actual picture of Bach in the news post.
Yes, exactly.
That's just like, hey, this guy's been dead since like the fucking 17th century or something like that. He's back everywhere now. Yeah,
and it's really kind of funny because Mitsuru goes full on yandere about it, and he's like, he like says like, Mitsuru, what the hell have you done? And she's like, you said my name for the first time. And
oh god damn it, girl. Priorities.
No, she knows what she's about. She knows what she's about. This is her plot the whole time. God. Even the babies are Bach now.
Jesus Christ.
I mean,
yeah.
I gotta respect
that. And so they're having a last stand in the mansion, and Schubert, of course, was Bachified, even though the others have not been.
Well, of course Schubert's the only one. He's the token bitch of the group, so like,
I mean, he's wearing trip pants. He deserved it.
Yes. Let's be real. Yes.
So anyway, that's how this episode ended, is that Bach is chained up to a giant mech that's like turning everyone else into Bach. Zombies at the gate. They're all going to use their music to fight them, and that's the end of part 1, to be continued in the next episode, part 2.
So we're closing out the plot.
They're closing out the plot. I did think it was pretty fucking cool that Mitsuru actually turned out to be kind of weirdly nefarious. And even though the whole progression of there being no sound to everyone turning into Bach made no sense to me, I thought it was a good twist, So
we have accepted it.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that just, we gotta accept this reality now. Everybody is Bach. Even you at home listening to this.
Yeah, check your head.
Andante.
Oh, man. So, okay. Man, now I gotta get on to Fuuka. You know what? I have not encountered a show that can flip itself like this so quickly. Like, episode 10, yeah, it got me mad. This episode got me a little bit happy, and then I'm like right back to mad again. I'm just like, fucking...
It inspires such anger.
What a fucking fall from grace. This show could have honestly been a contender for a high tier in my book, but then, like, just the last leg, it just shit itself completely. Alright. Anyway, let's get into this. So, the band's broken up now. They're thinking about what to do with it. They're just like, well, really can't have a band without a vocalist, so what do we do? It's like, well, bands without vocalists can do other stuff. Weddings is one of them. You can also
not that kind of band.
You could do weddings, you could do bar mitzvahs, you could do corporate parties.
They don't even have bar mitzvahs in Japan. I don't think there's a Jewish population in Japan.
They can move elsewhere to where Jewish people are and do bar mitzvahs.
Traveling bar mitzvah band.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's money, whatever. So they're basically sulking, and they come to the realization that, you know what, this really was Akitsuki's band from the beginning. So with her gone, well, we're shit out of luck. And Akitsuki is doing her solo thing. Her manager.
I would like to actually. Can I take a minute to be angry again? Now that I think about it.
Yes.
This ruins Yu's entire character arc.
Yes.
I just.
Yes,
okay.
It does.
I
was actually going to get to that. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad. I will continue to be mad about it then.
Yeah, I will get to the point where Yu's character arc is thrown down the toilet very, very soon. So right now, Akitsuki is just doing her solo gig, and it's not really that interesting. She's sulking about it, like I made the right choice. I didn't make the wrong choice. Sarah was upset about that, and Makoto's looking to move back into his dad's house, which is sad. Everybody's basically sulking, including Haruna. And then just randomly in the middle of the night, Koyuki breaks into his house. Just shows up, middle of the night, unannounced.
Sure.
Assumedly,
True love is when you break into someone's house.
Jesus fucking Christ.
See, clearly.
What one sees as true love, I see as jail. As I see as, please, get out of my house. I'm
just saying, like, it's gotta be true love. I don't know how you can think otherwise.
No.
Really.
No.
Yeah, I know. We're about to think otherwise.
Oh, man. So, then, here we go. Fucking Koyuki trying to make a move. God damn. She just, like, was conversing with
I still fucking
Haruna.
love this cool animal poster. Can that be the merch for this show? I don't need anything else. I would pay a lot of money for this cool animal poster.
As an aside, I would happily put down hella cash just to have that framed and put it in my room.
I'll Prince. I'll put it up in Artist Alley. He'll do it.
No.
Please. Just like literally a fucking catch book.
Oh my god. It's so funny. Like, that in the background just makes this whole entire drawn out
I think the fact that it's almost like an actual phrase, but not quite. I think that's what makes it funny. But Jesus Christ! In any case, Koyuki tries to bang this man.
Yep,
and this is weird because he doesn't want.
This is one of those things where Koyuki's now at such a desperate position just to get some form of closure that she just fucking. No care in the world, just throws herself on top of Haruno, just like, no, I love you. Come on, let's bump babies right here. And Haruno is just like, can you not? I don't want to.
I'm really sad right now, and I do not appreciate you throwing yourself at me.
Like, here's the thing though, they played it up, like, as the scene played out, it wasn't until like almost the very end that they played it like Haruno was gonna be like, I agree. And at that point, I was just, like, so furious that she was actually going to win at some point. But then they did the right thing, and they made her lose. And, do you know what really makes me happy? So many people, they were rooting for her to win. And do you know how many people were tilted that she lost?
Beautiful.
So instead of like going on a big speech about that, I'm just going to play fucking Koyuki's national anthem right now.
Somebody get fucked! Get fucked! 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 Get fucked! Get fucked! Get fucked!
Long story short, if you back this horse from the beginning, fuck you.
How does it feel to back somebody who just broke into someone's house
how does
and
it feel
attempted to assault them?
How does it feel to back a loser?
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
Oh, Jesus. So, anyway, with that whole ball of mess of drama out of the way, god damn it, you pulls a full all-nighter, makes a mixtape, and hands it to the band members like, here, before you guys change your mind about this whole band thing, just listen to this. I think we can make this work. And it looks, and he even drops one in Akitsuki's mailbox just as a thing. It's just like, please, I just want to talk to you again, just once, please. And it looks like that it's not going to happen. All the guys don't show up to the meeting place, but hey, guess what? They all show up except Akitsuki because she's still sulking and is very hesitant about joining it back. But you know what? They're all determined to bring her back and make the band happen again. You know, that whole thing. So
getting the band back together.
Yeah, we're getting the band back together. It's going to be fucking amazing. Yeah. And then Haruna, just for one more time, just for shit's sake, goes over to Akitsuki's house and just like, okay, she's probably got to be home. Her mother answers. And yeah, and basically...
And by, her mother, we mean her older sister who looks exactly the fucking same, but no, it is actually her mother.
Like, I mean...
At least it's not on the level of Love Live Mom, where she
Honestly,
was shorter than her. Where she was
No.
shorter than her, and also...
She literally just looks like an older version of Fuuka. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no bullshit. Like, that... I'm fine with that. Like... So, you wanna know what's really interesting? Like, from the moment that Akitsuki lived that fucking truck incident, people have been, like, speculating, well, why has this happened? Well, there was actually an interview with, I think the director of the anime, and he says that, well, I was a really big fan of Fuuka, so I always wanted to, at least Fuuka 1.0. There is a Fuuka 2.0 that happens in the manga, which, by the way, spoilers, I'm sorry. There is a Fuuka 2.0 that happens in the manga, but Fuuka 1.0, he was a big fan of the director was a big fan of the first Fuuka. So he's always kind of entertained the idea of what fate would be like if she lived. So basically,
it's an AU, it's fan fiction.
Yeah, like, have you ever got fuck?
Has your fan fiction ever received a fucking anime budget?
Yeah, like, has your fan fiction, no, fuck alternate universes. This is a fucking alternate timeline. Jesus Christ, this show could go any further off the rails. I would be very fucking surprised. I'm genuinely interested to see how this whole thing is going to end, and I'm probably going to just shake my head at the ending, because god damn it, guys, I was excited. This show was doing so well, and then it just pooped on my dreams. Fuck you, Fuuka. God, it's sad. It's just really, really sad. But I will move on eventually. So, what are you gonna do? Anyway, that was Fuuka. The last episode is next week. I'm not really looking forward to it, and to be perfectly honest, I don't think you guys should either. Anyway, so we actually had a little bit of a faux pas in terms of Gabriel Dropout. So remember that episode that we covered last week? Well...
No, I don't actually, so...
Well, I mean...
That shows how memorable it was.
Either way. It was supposed to actually be meant for this week.
Yeah, so basically what happened is we recorded a day late and Gabriel Dropout simulcast on Mondays, and because of that, Joe did this week's episode last week, which is great because it means I'm free. So we're not doing Gabriel Dropout this week. We'll be back next week.
I mean, yeah, depending when our end of the season recap is going to be coming out, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So instead, we'll just roll right into interviews with Monster Girls.
Yeah! Okay, so before we really get started here, I'm going to start out with an apology, because there's some things that come up in this episode that, like, I can't help but make some comparisons to the current political climate, and I really apologize for that in advance. So if you don't want to hear that or listen up to that, you guys can mute me, and then you guys can just pop back in like 30 minutes later and see if I'm still talking. So this episode kind of started out with, okay, so the vice principal comes to, I always forget the sensei's names, they just call him Sensei, and says like, oh yeah, you're doing a really good job, but you're working a little too hard at it. And, my first reaction was, what the fuck? How can somebody work too hard at trying to help people? That's not something that seems real. And word for word, his words to Sensei are, if you would show some restraint, the demi-human's dependence on you would disperse naturally. The sentiment he expresses here, like, okay, the sentiment is that he's like, I think the girls are going to rely on you too much, which is an understandable sentiment. But the way he's wording it kind of really pissed me off. Because it's been made very clear from the beginning that sort of more or less, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I kind of contradict myself with the descriptors. I'm really sorry. The entire concept of like treating them as regular humans, but doesn't necessarily mean ignoring that they're also demi-humans and have individual needs. I just felt like it was like a really weird distinction to make, kind of, because like you wouldn't go up to a person in a wheelchair and be like, hey, let's go play some soccer. Like, you wouldn't fucking do that.
Like, it's like, yeah, no, it's like
there's a way to like treat them like normal people, but like you understand that they have like different physical capabilities than you do. Like, it's just, God, it's just really frustrating to me because like this doesn't seem to occur to anyone until like near the end of the fucking episode, and it was really fucking frustrating to just watch. Honestly, you can cut down everything I said just to that last part if you want to, because that's literally the thing that pissed me off the most, because they didn't seem to understand that treating them like regular humans doesn't mean ignoring the thing that makes them different. And I think it's really just kind of speaks to the fact that we're kind of an individualist culture and we like to celebrate our differences. Whereas in Japan, there's literally a saying that the nail that sticks up gets hammered down. So like, I think that's where this is coming from, sort of. And there's just like kind of like a weird cultural disconnect between me and this show, because the entire concept of like not acknowledging someone else's differences is kind of like weird to me. Like I said, it'd be like asking someone in a wheelchair to go play soccer. It'd be fucking stupid and insensitive. And so all of this talk, the girls figure out what's happening and they suddenly feel bad. Like, maybe we've been taking advantage of Sensei and like we've been taking him for granted and shit. And I'm just like, no, you haven't. Literally, no. He's going out of his way. He's going out of his way to help you guys. And it's just like, it's just dumb. It's just real dumb. So like, Takahashi Sensei is being emo and stuff like that, and so after school he does what any emo kid does, and he goes to the beach and sits by himself. And then he gets a phone message that has a video from all the demis, and they're saying, hey, we're grateful that you helped us, and you're a good guy, and don't be discouraged because the vice president was an asshole.
Basically, they're just they're engaging in what I like to call real appreciation hours.
Yeah, real appreciation hours. And then Sato Sensei basically kind of asks him out on a date via video chat, and then immediately says afterwards, "Ha, just kidding."
Except she was not kidding.
Except she was not kidding. And then Hikari comes on the beach and has a talk with him. And honestly, this is one of those things that I'm going to talk about. Like, I have not read the manga to this, so I'm not really sure how the manga is really set up. If it's, like, significantly different or anything, or what the deal is. I feel like this would have been a stronger scene if Hikari had talked in the video and Sato Sensei had come out on her own.
Yeah.
And talked to him on the beach. That's just my personal feeling. But I understand, like, because of the way the show's written and the manga was written and everything like that, it made more sense for Hikari to be the one to come to the beach because she was the first one that he reached out to. Because, you know, full circle closure and everything.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So, there's this whole thing where I thought it was really fucking funny because, like, she's right next to him, but she's, like, yelling into the ocean about how much she appreciates him, and I'm just like, okay.
You don't have to yell.
Don't
raise your voice in public.
Yeah, but she's like, I really appreciate you, Sensei, and I'm gonna work really hard to repay you, and everyone else has been really nice to me. And then that's cool. And then the next day at school, the High School Musical theme, we're all in this together, is playing as they mingle with their peers. And then the vice president comes up to Takahashi Sensei and is like, yeah, by the way, I know I was mean to you yesterday, but I changed my fucking mind because I see how you've inspired other students to, like, sing we're all in this together. And then the last screen cap I have here,
motherfucker.
yeah, and then the screen cap I have in the bottom right corner here is him looking at him leaving, which I have annotated with, bitch, the fuck? Because literally
he's just like, you caused this giant moral crisis for no fucking reason.
Yes, literally it's just like the whole thing made me really upset because the vice principal made an emphasis on, oh, other people can step up and support them other than you, and I'm just like, but nobody has. Clearly, nobody fucking has, so you shouldn't get on his dick about being caring. Like, God, what a fucking terrible principal. Anyway, the message here, like Hikari says at the end, you can never take trying too far. Saying a person who tried hard to move forward went too far isn't right. And I was like, preach it. Yeah. Sing that from the mountaintop so the vice president or vice principal can fucking hear it. Because God, what an idiot. So this whole episode was really charged with a lot of, like, emotional closure and, you know, fulfilling, touching scenes. So I was really looking forward to seeing, like, oh man, I wonder what they're gonna do for the next episode. Apparently a beach episode, because, like, I guess that was needed to this emotional, sincere closure, was that they're like, hey, let's have them all go swimming because we haven't done anything weird or creepy, so I guess that our nickel stops here.
Yeah, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's anime. Anime stops from 1 minute from being heartwarming to say, by the way, you're still watching anime.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, I kind of was like a little bit on a tangent there, and it made no sense. So feel free to just.
It's okay. That's what post-production is for.
Yeah,
I got you.
Sorry.
We're now going on to something fantastic that happened this week.
It was great.
It was such a huge fan of this week's Dragon Maid. Holy shit.
It was
so cute.
Basically, the summary.
I really like this little image that you've made here. This is really cute.
Thank you. If you guys aren't aware, I put a little Toru on the cover of the Best Christmas Pageant Ever book, which is basically a book about a Christmas play that goes horribly wrong, but in its own way is charming enough to win everyone over. So that's basically what this entire episode of Dragon Maid was about.
It's the best
it was about
Christmas pageant ever.
It was the best Christmas pageant ever. But, like, it's a Christmas pageant, but it's not about, like, the birth of Jesus because they're not in a Christian country, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. You can have Christmas without Jesus. They managed to make it work.
They did, and honestly, if they did about Jesus, I wouldn't have liked it as much. Anyway, so we open up with well, we don't open up with it, but Toru gathers the gang, plus Riko, plus Shota, plus I forget her name. I'm so sorry. Elma. I'm sorry. It's not in my
It's okay. Basically, basically Toru gathers together the entire squad, with the exception of Elma. She doesn't necessarily entice her to work. She basically just says, "Hey, I got a bunch of candy that you can eat if you come over," and bamboozles her into working on the play. Which I'm just like, Elma, I love you, but like, it's just don't think with your stomach for like 5 seconds and you'll see the world in a completely different light.
The funny thing is that made me really laugh is like, it's like, but we're so busy at work too, and I took time out of my schedule to come here. And then Toru's just like, yeah, no, I learned from Kobayashi, you're basically still really shitty at your job, so they didn't need you.
No, I'm sure she's doing fine. I'm sure she's doing fine.
I know, she's very clearly not.
But it was really funny because Toru was just being really fucking mean about it.
I don't bully. No bully.
She has to bully her. They're on the opposite sides of dragonness.
Care. No bully.
Okay, but anyway, they spend some time talking about what we can do, and then Riko's like, oh yeah, we should do like the little match girl for a play. And they all agree on it. Also include this image of Luca and Kana down here in the corner.
Wear a fucking shirt.
Yeah, like, in what fucking dimension does this count as an outfit? Like, she's wearing...
she's got the fucking goddamn Rakano-Yusha boob strap over overalls.
And it's even less acceptable because she's got major titties.
Yeah,
she's small-chested.
She's wearing basically like a tiny nipple strap over her boobs, and then she's wearing overalls. But
I'm so sad because when I saw this outfit from far away, I assumed she was wearing a fucking shirt.
Dude, put that thing away. They're like children here.
I'm going to the snack bar.
No,
it would have been pretty cute. I like that thing with the overalls and the shorts. No.
And then it's like zoom, nope. And I'm just saying, it was really a good framing choice here because they decided to put the most impure character next to the most pure character the entire show.
She's not the most pure.
Kana?
Mm-mm.
Well, okay.
I remember what happened.
I mean, okay, so like
the other child is the most pure, the small brown-haired one.
Okay, so yes. The most pure dragon next to the most impure dragon.
There you go.
And balanced out their karma a little bit.
Anyway,
anyway, that's why I included that because I wanted to talk about her fucking nipple strap.
Disgusting.
Gross. Anyway, so also this is a kind of a tangential thing before we go on to more important stuff. This transition here was fucking impressive as hell. They're talking about the stage, and then there's a transition between shots where Toru's clapping hands come together and like wipe the screen to the next sequence of shots. And that was really well fucking done.
Yeah.
I was really fucking impressed by that. Good job.
Anyway, so what is the match girl about? Well, it's this
it's about this little match girl who fucking dies.
Yeah, basically she can't sell matches, so she uses matches to keep herself warm in the streets until she dies. And yeah. That's basically it.
I took a lot of screenshots of this though because the art in this whole sequence and they're retelling the story was really nice. It was really, really good.
It was nice and Christmassy.
It was nice and Christmassy. It did remind me of like a Christmas Carol storybook type stuff. And there was a lot of good colors and just good art. Good job.
Yep. And then guess who they decided to let direct?
Yeah.
Motherfucking okay. Out of all the people qualified to tell a story, I would not put it in the hands of a shut-in dragon who watches anime all day.
They did it though because he can't act. So like I can't entirely.
All right, cool. We only got one option.
No.
I became a director because I can't act.
Yeah, that's definitely not how that happens.
That is absolutely not how that happens.
I know.
Oh my god.
I knew you were going to be mad at that.
Oh jeez. Like Fafnir, Fafnir is my son, and I love him, and he's fantastic, but he just is not born for a select amount of things, and directing is definitely not one of them.
He's not really well equipped for a lot of things.
Yeah. So
he makes Rico cry.
Yeah, he makes poor Sawaka
Because-
like fucking cry and run off, and
Because she was trying out the part of the matchstick girl, but then she got too intimidated by his evil glare.
I loved Elma's audition. Just like copied what the fucking solicitors at her office building do.
I can't go back to the office until I've sold all of them. Please buy these matches.
God damn it, Elma.
I like Toru's getting fucking pissed and like saying, "I will fucking kill you if you don't buy these matches."
And Fafnir's like, "No, bad, failed."
Not endearing enough.
And I mean, at least Fafnir's head is in the right place in terms of that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was really surprised that he was at least cognizant enough to be like, "No, that's not what the play's like."
Yeah. So up next, they decide, well, who's left to go? Well, let's have one of the kids do it, and then fucking Pretzel dresses up Shodan. Him as the match girl.
What cute.
Criminally cute. But at the same time, no.
Yeah. Okay, so the whole thing is basically like, okay, so Saikawa tried out and none of the other girls could work out as a match girl. So let's dress up Shota as the match girl and see like how he looks. And everyone's like, "Oh, he's adorable." And I was just like, he is adorable. But I don't condone bullying.
But you clearly tell he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, and he's like, "What are you all planning to achieve by embarrassing me?" And I'm just like, honestly, I ask that every episode of this fucking show. Like, what are you trying to fucking achieve?
I mean, granted, like, it's not like it's the worst thing that
they've
been
done
done
to
to
him.
No. In fact, like, honestly, this is I see it as good because that outfit is really cute on him, but at the same time, you can clearly tell that he's just not into it.
Yeah, like I was saying, wholesome cross-dressing. It is Miyakor, but it's not Miyakor to bully small children into wholesome cross-dressing.
Yeah.
Don't bully your kids, all right?
No. But then
they make the decision they should have done in the first place and make Kana the match girl.
Oh.
She looks like the shot where they pan over to her in the first one was so fucking cute because she just looked like a little dumpling, and I just like wanted to poke her tiny little cheeks. And okay, I don't hate, but I don't really understand those like little anime merch things that are like those little round dumpling type plushies that are kind of like Tsum Tsums, but not really. The ones that are squishy. And I never really understood them until I saw this shot right here. And I was like, I would buy a Kana one of those dumpling squishies. Because she's just so
Kana
cute.
is sometimes just way too much for my heart. I feel like one of these days, like, I'm just going to look at a cute and pure Kana scene and she's just going to, like, put me into the ground. Like,
honestly, like, okay, if I opened up commissions for $50 for tiny Kana plushies, do you think I could make money?
Yes.
Yes. Are you fucking
dollar
kidding
bills.
me? Are you fucking kidding me? Those would fly off the shelves so fast.
Because, KyoAni ain't doing it, so might as well step in and give the people what they want, right?
Not only do you have incentive, you got a goddamn point. Like, KyoAni would not touch that merch with a 5-foot pole because they are dumb and stupid and have a bad relationship with merch companies, but that's beside the point.
I mean, they must. There's no other reason.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But she's really cute in the little match girl outfit.
Yeah.
And then they go to the park and practice, but the most important part of this entire park scene was the return of Kana eating things.
Okay. There were two important things. One, Kana eating things. Two, director Elma, which
she was a good director, honestly. Okay, there's also a little one-off joke. There was a one-off joke that I actually kind of laughed at. It was a Lukoa joke, but I still laughed at it. It was like Lukoa, she's trying to play the grandma. Don't offer to warm the little match girl with your nude body. That's weird.
That's weird. Don't do
And
that.
she's like, and it pans over to her, and she's wearing like her like thong bikini from before, and she's like,
No.
but it's warmer this way, and it's just like, it's weird. Don't be weirdly sexual. And I'm just like, thank you.
Stop.
Thank you for calling her out.
Don't. cease, desist. Enough already.
But yeah, Kana, the cute thing is that Kana got a little bit of her like dumpling on her face, and Saikawa pulled it off her and was like, "Oh, you got something on your face," and then Kana ate it, and that lasted a whole 1 second of animation.
Still,
it was so cute.
It's an important 1 second of animation though.
It's a really important 1 second because it shows all the kids being cute and pure.
Can we also talk about like the in-between gag of Kana? This whole entire like, oh my god, I love good.
The in-between gag because it's like all about Kana like talking about Santa Claus and stuff like that, and she's like, "Oh, we don't have a chimney," and Toru builds her a fucking fireplace.
Damn, that's against the terms of the lease.
Yeah, she builds her a fucking fireplace, and then she's like, "Wait, how will Santa know where we are?" And then she puts up these signs that says, "Kana the good girl lives here."
Oh
and
my
so
god.
Cute. It's so cute.
Like, that kind of stuff, just like, once again, I'm just gonna look at something like Kana's gonna do something like this in the near future. I'm just going to just drop dead of cardiac arrest. Like, that's just I just accepted it at this point.
Okay, so the play that they put on for the old people's home
was written by Fafnir.
Yeah, it went bananas as usual. It was actually ended up being a combination of the little matchstick girl, this one other classical story that I don't know is from Japan,
Magical
Girls,
and 47 Ronin.
And I was like, honestly, I'd watch it.
I mean, me too. And the old people seem to like it.
The old people seem to love it. They did the E3 guy meme.
They did the meme, yeah.
But yeah, Kana in the magical girl outfit and Shota in the magical girl outfit, because his character in the show is also a guy. He's like, "Make me a magical girl too." And then Fafnir's like, "Oh, I only have like one magic rod, so you guys are going to have to fight for it."
Wait. Dude turns into a magical girl. Two magical girls. They have to fight over something.
Is this magical racing project?
No.
No. It's all okay. Look, I'm saying it's already better than that because
that's true.
Kana has a will of her own in volition
and a personality.
Yes.
And believe it or not, more personality than fucking Koyuki did. And Kana has like 3 expressions.
And two, they're like smarter than that. Also, 3, their outfits are infinitely more cuter than anything that was.
Yeah,
in,
okay. So like on their costume design here, they picked like a really interesting like blend of like Cardcaptor Sakura and a little bit of Madoka between there, and then like also bunny ears for some reason.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
The animal ears could go.
And then like
they look all right on Shota's little like bonnet.
Yeah,
no,
they look cute on Shota's.
They're cute.
They're really cute on Shota's. And then I don't know. Some part of me was like, I don't know if like red and pink is the right color palette for Kana, since she's usually just pink and like some blue, right? Like normally, isn't that what she wears? Like purple?
Yeah, but red is sort of like.
It's iconic, yeah.
Red and pink is like the main character colors.
I thought it was cute. It was really cute.
Yeah.
And it was a good play. And honestly, I'd watch a series based on it. Spin-off
One of the funniest things was Kobayashi kind of walked in late and like right as the play started, and just like, oh, okay, well, she doesn't know anything that they planned. So as the play unfolds, she's just watching as a bystander, just like, oh my god. What? Like, no, stop this. What are you doing?
And then they start using their magic powers in the show, and all the old people are like, oh, is this CGI? And then one guy next to him is like, who did you call Gigi? And because, like, you know, CGI.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good
See,
like putty. He's like,
because
I
they're old
didn't
and they can't hear.
It was a funny joke. Anyway,
so yeah, the play goes off without a hitch, and then they celebrate with a Christmas dinner. And Elma, look at Elma.
She's so happy.
Look at that.
She's so happy.
I'm almost a little disappointed about how predictable you are, Joe.
Shush, let me have my fun.
And then after the party, everyone goes home and everything, and Kobayashi and then Kana goes to bed, and Kobayashi and Toru go out on like a night fly, I guess would be the right one.
Yeah, they got like a little fly.
It's really fucking cute because like Kobayashi made her a scarf or bought her. I'm gonna guess made her a scarf because like
it's got like a little dragon feather.
It's got a little dragon on it. It's so cute.
That is very cute.
But because she's like in her dragon form, she just ties it around her horn, and it's so fucking cute. Oh, it's so cute. It was really cute and it was really good, and that's why it also got my Miyako stamp. So this is a very good episode. It was a good episode.
Honestly, well, the one thing that I'm definitely going to be looking forward to is my evaluation of this show, because you guys remember like the beginning of the season where I said that I was going to fucking despise this show. Man, I am so glad that I was wrong. Like, oh my god, this episode just kind of cemented the show as just like,
it's good.
It made me feel warm inside, which is always nice. And once again, there was like lots of great moments, lots of cute and pure things. Yes, Luca was very much kind of around there, but I mean, granted, you know, they kept it to a little bit of a minimum, what resembled a minimum.
I did not like her showing up in the play, and it did not. Yeah. I thought they could have given her more clothes in the play.
Yeah,
but I did like the old people reacting to her boobs.
But the one thing though, she did have a really good sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Like her sweater was like the one thing that she has worn this entire time that is actually like good. So there you go.
That's true.
And of course, like I have to once again reiterate Elma. Look at that. Look at all that. I love it.
It was very cute. Anyway, but that's it for Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Good episode. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're gonna like end the season with, because like this is a pretty high point. Like this is gonna be a hard one to top.
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, we'll see. Yeah,
like, maybe. Oh my god, what if Kobayashi finally eats her tail?
If it's all been built up to that, that would have been totally worth it.
Honestly,
totally worth it.
All right, now let's talk about some other stuff.
Let's talk about how to end a war 101 with Tanya.
With Tanya, alrighty. So, Finish Man continues to exist, which I guess like is actually supposed to happen because he's doing some stuff right now that the other character that sort of air quotes replaces him but doesn't really replace him would not be capable of doing.
Yeah.
So I guess he's supposed to be alive, which surprises me. I mean, everybody seemed very excited for his daughter to come in and like do her thing, but I don't think she's going to get a chance to before the end of the season at this rate.
Instead, they just took the dude and like, okay, you know what? If you guys see Metal Gear Solid 5, we're doing that with this character.
We don't kink shame comrades. Look around you. This is your family.
This is your family.
I'm your family. Boss, call me daddy.
On the sort of other side of things, we mentioned last week that Tanya and Ko were sort of in the heart of the country. And the sort of military guys are like, yeah, we pulled back for no reason to the other people because, you know, like top secret military ops. And they're all mad. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, they're sort of portrayed as like being kind of bitchy and unreasonable, but like their points are actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
I'm just like, can't really be mad at these guys. They have legitimate concerns.
They
like,
definitely have to like point it out. It's like, well, you know, if these facilities fall, then it's going to be really
we have a
hard.
serious issue like continuing to fund this war, which is, you know, as mentioned, a reasonable concern. So, you know, the show tries to make them come off as unreasonable, and they
fails.
It's totally reasonable. Did we not forget the sentence in Izetta, I will give you as much money as you can to do this project? How to lose a war 101. Yeah,
no, these guys bitching completely makes sense. Given the expression of the bottom man, or in the bottom right here, this is not a phrase that came out the way I intended. Given the expression of the man at the bottom right here, it goes, the military op goes well. And they're like, all right, cool. Like, just letting you know, everything's going to be fine. And everybody is like, oh, well, I mean, okay. You could have told us this maybe like 10 minutes ago.
But
there's a lot of effort.
top secret military op. There's no real time for explanation. Instead, there's time for blowing shit up and setting stuff on fire.
Woo!
Always.
Yeah, so it turns out that everybody, definitely not Germans, when they retweeted.
They retweeted that shit. Retweeted that. They need them receipts. They need them receipts.
But no, so in any case, they when they retreated, they set up a bunch of explosives, and we're just like, hey, and then we're gonna blow you up. They roll out some tanks, blah blah blah, huge explosions. They also have definitely like these guys with flamethrowers. I'm about 99% sure that that's a war crime.
Well,
they're lighting people on fire.
yes, but they were viable for use, I think, in the end of World War One, and they were definitely fair game in World War Two.
As kind of mentioned, the operation pops off. We got some really cute Tanyas this week, I want to say. Like, the art quality kind of dipped for a while in the mid-season. There's still, like, some silly stuff going on in the mid-shots and the crowd shots, but it's not too horrible, and we got some cute Tanyas.
Yeah,
so
we also got some
we
also got some really great Tanya reactions, like when she heard over the radio that the operation was a success, that she just had this face that was just like, yes!
Yeah, it was quite
it's
good.
the face that you make when you just like snort an entire like mound of cocaine, just like,
basically,
I'm ready to go.
It was so ridiculous. But yeah, no, so she's proud of herself, blah blah blah, kind of what you would expect. It was good. I like seeing, as much as she's like a horrible, awful person, I do like seeing her happy. So it was nice. She has a lot of really nice bants with her squad. Like, I pointed that out last week, but I'm pointing it out this week again. It's one of those things that like a lot of shows try really hard to do and don't succeed that well at, is like sort of convincing us that our Machiavellian main character actually cares about people besides herself. But you actually like get that impression quite a bit. So I just thought that was very well done. You also sort of have the French man or the French mage like returning and being like, oh, unholy fuck, which was a pretty good sequence.
Yes.
And then we cut to, and I swear to fucking God, we've been saying this for like 4 weeks. She's got to get dunked one more time before the show ends, because there's no other reason to show this like light from heaven that's going on in this right screen cap here, where Tanya like goes back and she's like, war has a tendency to make you kind of insane, but like, this plan has succeeded. This is going to end it. This is like a huge breakthrough for military strategy in general. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen finally. And then like this light from heaven breaks down, and I'm like, if she doesn't get dunked before the end of the season, I'm gonna be a little bit angry, honestly.
But you know what? At the very end, there's a giant mage force approaching them, and they are ready to fucking go.
Yeah, it's led by Finish Man, and
so yes, she is in prime position to get fucking slam jammed.
I really hope she does.
With the wrath of 1,000 suns, and you know what?
And also, he actually like murdered one of the other named characters, and I actually kind of cared.
Yep.
I was amazed. He like fell down, and I was like, oh man, like that kind of sucks. I was like, holy shit, I cared.
No more camaraderie. And like, no, like normally I would be rooting for the main character in this situation, which would be Tanya, but like, as good as she has been, I'm watching the show because I like to see her get fucking dunked. And now she's in a position where she's going to get dunked so hard.
We hope so.
That her past life is going to feel it. Like, I am excited to see how this is going to unravel.
That's the thing. It's that light from heaven that like tells me, I'm like, something's going to go down. Also the fact that she like has that sort of moment of like, that like breakthrough moment of hope where she's like, oh yeah, like things are going to be better. I will live. I will be out of this. And then the light from heaven just shows, and I'm like, you're not going to be out of this.
Like,
especially because, this episode starts with fucking, definitely not Britain carrying around definitely not Finland man. And they're like, yeah, that's amazing. We're like getting involved in this war after all this time. And I'm just like, shit.
See, the thing is like, I see that, and I'm just thinking, wow, man, fucking, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, can I say one thing while you're recovering that train of thought?
Yeah.
I suddenly realized what Tanya's face reminded me of. It
What?
reminds me of one of those Bratz Babies dolls.
Oh, Jesus. Hold on. I'm Googling this.
Oh,
I'm
no.
Googling this.
Bratz with
I
the
got,
Z.
I got my thought back. Basically, for the past 4 weeks, she has been just saying nothing but, I'm a genius, and following through on it. Guess what? All those oh no's have built up.
I know. I'm waiting.
And it's
I'm
time
waiting
to
for
cash.
the oh no of a century.
It's time to spend that cash, get that money. Oh, man. I want her
Please
to get
just, like,
fucking...
I mean, don't murder her because I want her to suffer, but murder her.
Like, I want her to get fucking decked hard. Like, this... And guess what? Like, we're probably going to get our wish granted next week.
Oh, I hope so. I'm ready.
Just and yeah, next week we actually have shows that are finishing. Like I think the two big names that are going to be finishing, Akiba Strip is going to have the big final fight, and then Fuuka is going to shamble over the finish line in some form or another. I don't know. I don't know what form it's going to be in, but it's just going to like show up.
It's going to be something.
In like a disheveled mess. Just be like, "Hey, I'm here." I'm just going to just shake my head and say, you could have been so much better. I mean, whatever. It's anime. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
None of this matters.
We've been rusing you this entire time.
So yeah, well, we'll be back next week with I think one more final episode, and then we're gonna be getting into our basically end of the season shtick where we're gonna release snaps, and then we're gonna do our end of the season recap where we basically get to say, hey, Akka's a 5 out of 5, here's why.
Don't spoil them.
If they have been listening from episode 1, what do you think they're going to say? Like,
yeah.
we haven't been exactly subtle about it. Like, let's just be real. Like, let's not bullshit our audience too much. I'm sorry. Like, okay, like we bullshit them on a lot of other things, but
not this.
Not this. Like, we've been very, very blatant about our favoritism for Akka. Okay, like
it's still good.
It's still good. Like, you should watch it.
Lilium is my favorite problematic gay. He's good.
But yeah,
he's such a conniving bitch. I just adore him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, Emily, what's your take on that Bratz Babies take?
I mean, yeah. Yeah. I'm a sad panda.
It's okay. And on that sad inconvenience, it's time for us to end. So, as always, until next time, I'm Joe.
And Emily.
And I'm Mia.
We are on a 7-day coffee break, but we'll be back next week with more Waifu Watch podcasts. So until then, have a good rest of the week, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Later.